Hi, my name is Hannah Lisinski, and today that we're going to be talking about self-driving vehicles in the world today. So, first, how will we look? How will life look for truck drivers, couriers, and rideshare services like Uber with the implementation of self-driving cars? Engineers are also going to share their opinions about autonomous driving technology in its future. And we'll also be discussing what is the increase in self-driving technology due to the car insurance companies and what do they have to say about it. So self-driving vehicles receive a lot of praise for the looks and novel technology, but let's take a closer look at the stakeholders involved. Personally, I find this topic really interesting and conflicting and was curious to see how this almost too good to be true technology would affect professional drivers. Rideshare services like Uber, Lyft, taxis, long-haul drivers, and couriers are directly affected by the increase of this technology. Vern Mayorato, a truck driver from Denver, speaks out and discusses how these robotic trucks won't be controlling the highways anytime soon. He refers to the Tesla vehicle that crashed when the cameras didn't detect a trailer ahead of it, resulting in the driver's death. But what happens to these professional drivers once the technology is perfected? At first, cab drivers had to increase their own education due to the increase of GPS, credit card readers, and tablets inside the vehicle. With this new savvy technology of automated driving, it could potentially bankrupt many of these businesses, resulting in massive job losses. As most of you know, everyone is supposed to obtain car insurance, but what would that look like in the future? It seems that the car insurance costs for these autonomous cars is skyrocketing and is a reason why this technology has not gained a lot of support. One of the reasons is due to the limited amount of crash safety data available for these self-driving cars, as insurance providers must measure the risk of potential accidents. Dan Pete, a venture capitalist and entrepreneur, describes his experience in almost purchasing a Tesla and the costly $10,000 insurance premium that he was received. Pete, already an owner of a health insurance company, has expressed interest in launching a new automotive insurance company focused solely toward automated vehicles. Not only is this one option of what insurance could look like, but what about if we did not have insurance at all? High-risk drivers are a huge liability to auto insurance companies, but if drivers are eliminated, that could change how traditional insurance costs are calculated. Data shows that more than 90% of accidents are caused by human mistakes. Michelle Krause, a senior director in Accenture's insurance, discusses that premiums could drop by 12.5% by 2035. And due to this, there will be more loss than gains for insurance companies. We have now discussed some critical points of view from stakeholders directly affected by this increase in motor technology. Let's now discuss what engineers may face. Engineers play a huge role in self-driving vehicles as they are responsible for designing, testing, and making sure they are safe and ready for use. Many engineers were interviewed and asked questions about their stance on fully autonomous technology. Most of the engineers pointed out that the sensor technology needed is still very new in existence and shows quite some potential. In an article, a certain engineer discusses how the last 3 to 4% of perfecting these vehicles would be extremely hard to achieve, and he just was not sure that this could even be achievable. There is also an increase in ethical responsibilities for these engineers, since what was 90% of human driving error will now be transferred mainly onto the engineers. Since real-world environments aren't predictable, the automated vehicle cannot have complete knowledge on what the right course of action may be, according to Jessica Harris. Harris introduces the two methods used, a COMM, which is partially observed Markov decision processes, and the MPD, which is a Markov decision process. And she goes on to talk about how a COMMPD is described as working in an environment where the vehicle would have incomplete knowledge and would be working from probabilities calculated previously, which is more likely the system that would be developed for an automated vehicle. These are the stakeholders that I considered, and I hope that you had great insight and I got to show you some great things towards these stakeholders, as they have contributed a lot and they have done their research on this self-driving vehicle topic. So, in conclusion, the outlook for professional drivers is not optimistic with the new changes to this technology in the next 10 to 15 years, with thousands of jobs at risk. Insurance companies have to work fast to create new methods of calculating coverage, liability, and discover new ways to ensure that premiums are affordable. Ultimate responsibility rests with engineers when it comes to the design and safety of producing autonomous vehicles, with advancements in technology and new testing methods. Well, I hope you enjoyed our topic today of self-driving vehicles.